Welcome, everybody, to the Patient Players Podcast. This is episode 67. Thank you for joining us today on the January 18th edition of the Patient Players Podcast. I am your host, Daniel, joined by my absolutely fabulous co-host, just wonderful, marvelous, every other synonym you can think of, Jordan. How you doing, Jordan?
I'm Taco Cabana Jordan.
You're... What kind of Jordan? It's a new Jordan every week with you. What kind of Jordan is Taco Cabana Jordan?
It's actually a sad Jordan. I went to Taco Cabana today, and they gave us the wrong order.
That is sad.
Yeah. So
this is tragedy, Jordan.
It was so sad. My heart was like heartbroken while I was eating lunch because it wasn't what I ordered.
What was it? How close was it?
Kind of close, but I ended up giving that to Miranda because what she had gotten wasn't close at all. So we switched.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
So my half close one she ate, and then I ate my like some random enchilada or something.
It's like in chess when you switch the king and the rook and they're like on opposite sides, but they're slightly different. It's like you sacrificed your meal so she could have something slightly similar, but then you got something on a completely different side of the chessboard.
Just like chess.
It was a pro gamer move.
Anyways, glad to be here. Happy third episode of January ever.
We did it. We've made it. January is going on like a normal month this year. It's amazing.
When was our first February episode? Because I'm curious when we'll actually get to our first.
I believe it was the second week of February.
Okay. The second month of February. Got it.
The second month of February, yes. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. This is a podcast about video games. We do what we call gaming in the slow lane here, where we're going to be talking about our favorite games or rediscovering some of the old classic games we haven't played in a while, maybe talking about updates or new deals on them, things like that. More often than you're going to hear us talking about the newest, latest, hottest gaming news, because that's typically what we're playing. So that's what we know about, and that's what we'll be able to speak to. And then after our gaming topics for each week, we're going to have the best part of the podcast, which is the question and answers section, where we're going to go through and answer your questions live on the podcast. You can send in those questions over to patientplayerspodcast@gmail.com. And as always, you can join us each weekend during our live recording of these episodes on the twitch.tv/patientplayers. So we do have a live Twitch chat that you'll see on the video archive, as well as interacting with us via the chat for questions and answers. But before we get to that, I want to know what's been going on with you, Jordan. How's your week been?
It was a good week until the Taco Cabana incident.
It's just like a very sad ending on the whole thing.
It's just a me thing where it's like, I think I'm just really emotional about food, where like my heart was actually just like so sad that I ordered a ground beef taco bowl, and then there was no ground beef taco bowl. I was so sad.
That is pretty sad. Do you find yourself more upset over your food order being wrong than when I convinced you I had gotten you a gift of
the Splatoon shenanigans?
Yes, the Splatoon shenanigans. Did that hurt your feelings more?
I think it might have. I mean, the food might have.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like with the food thing, I knew what I was going to get and I was looking forward to it and I was excited. And then you open up the bag and you're like, oh no, this is not a thing that I wanted to stick in my face.
Here's something that might cheer you up a little bit. Like think of a Christmas day of like it's better to give than to get. Know that someone out there somewhere,
debatable.
Someone out there somewhere got to enjoy a taco bowl they weren't expecting. Think about how amazing that feeling is, that your taco bowl was thoroughly enjoyed.
Well, there's a bit of a problem with that logic.
Okay.
In that I think that they were still like at the restaurant waiting for their food. So they probably just walked up, got the wrong one, sat down, looked at it and said, hey, this is the wrong one. And then probably just gave it back.
Unless they wanted the taco bowl more than what they originally ordered.
I mean, true. Yeah. Like, I think they got a better deal if they kept the one, because I had like a chips and queso on the side. I had a taco bowl.
Ooh.
I had two more tacos, and then what we really got was enchiladas in a taco bowl. So they came up on top on that one, if they did keep it.
Oh, that is true. The enchiladas are substandard.
They were very tiny
was it
enchiladas.
Like cheese enchiladas, or was it like a beef enchilada?
They were cheese ones.
Oh yeah, that's like, not worth it. Not an easy trade by any means.
Yep. So
I think our lunch was some sliced potatoes baked in the oven with some cheese and ham.
Ooh,
pretty good. Didn't have any sour cream to put on there, but it was very
cheese
tasty
and ham potatoes.
Yeah, like a baked potato with all sorts of stuff. I put some olives on mine, but I didn't have very many olives.
I don't think I've ever had ham on a potato before.
It's good.
Interesting.
Very good. Nutritious. After my exercise this morning, we've had a kind of a slow couple of weeks with Marion, wife of the podcast, recovering from some surgery, and so we haven't really gone out or done very much. Nothing was preventing me from doing that. I just didn't. So this has been our first weekend in a while. It's a long weekend for me. Happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody.
Oh yeah, holidays and stuff.
As we take a break from work to celebrate some very hard work that's been done to include equality in the decisions and discussions of this nation. So we appreciate the sacrifices that have gone into that.
You're telling me it's not a day where we appreciate just milk? Just like cow milk? Oh, okay.
No, it's also not a day where we appreciate Martin Luther, the man who nailed the 95 theses onto the door of the church.
Right. He wasn't a king or a junior.
That's true. Do you want to know what day that you do celebrate him on?
I do. I didn't know we celebrate him on a day.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Halloween? It's Halloween, isn't it?
It's All Saints Day. Yeah. That's the anniversary of the Reformation. We just hit, like, I think 3 years ago, it was like the 400th anniversary of the Reformation.
Oh, same.
You were with me on that day.
I was?
Yeah, you were down here in town. We were at that conference where we listened when you came down and stayed with us for a few days and went to the Bible conference with us.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That was during the anniversary.
Cool. I did it.
History facts for the patient players. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to Patient History Facts.
Oh, no.
History is very patient, if you think about it. Because all it does is just wait, you know? Because if it's history, that means it already happened. So it literally has nothing else to do but wait.
But sometimes you have history in the making, which is actively happening.
Ooh, I like that. Ooh. For example, this is the first episode I've had a duck on my head. This is history in the making.
All right. There has to be a podcast called History in the Making. Right?
Oh, just like the whole show is called History in the Making?
Yes. Yep. There's definitely a podcast called History in the Making. So before we get sued, let's move on to talk about video games.
Okay.
Which is definitely our specialty here. So
it's usually our specialty. This week it might be less of our specialty than usual.
I don't know. We played a lot of video games. We played more video games together than anything.
Okay, we did. This week we've played more video games together than probably the last couple months. I would say.
Yeah.
And it's been a blast. It's been wonderful.
Agreed.
I've been so happy.
It's been a good time. So you have been not only playing games, but also getting heavily invested once again in the culture and lore of one particular video game of Overwatch.
That's the one. Can I ask, do you remember if I put Overwatch on my top 10 games of ever?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Because it is. It's the best. We started playing Overwatch again. What started that up?
I think it was just doing it. I don't think there was a trigger for it.
Oh, okay.
I think we just wanted to play some Overwatch.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Well, we initially, like a few weeks ago, we played some because of the Christmas skins. We wanted to unlock the Christmas skins.
I think that's what started me playing it again was just getting the free skins every week.
And that didn't lead into like immediately playing, but it did lead into we were talking about it more, so we got into it again.
Mm-hmm. I led into me playing. Like after that ended, I kept playing. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot how much I love this game. In fact, we've been playing so much this week that I went back and I watched every single like animated short that they've made, which is over an hour long. And they are beautiful. And I cried like 4 times out of happiness because of how beautiful they are. And I rewatched the one they made for Overwatch 2, and I cried again. So good.
Wait, they have an animated short for Overwatch 2?
They do, yeah, where they all are, like, get back together again.
Oh wait, I think I did see that one.
They released
Getting the
it
gang back together
at BlizzCon of 2019, which means they haven't done an animated short in like a year and a fourth.
Jeez 'em.
Yeah, or a year and a half.
So let's talk about that as our first topic. What is the state of Overwatch having come back to it? Because there are people who have never stopped playing, and there are people who stopped playing when it was old after like 3 months of being out, right? So a lot's changed, and we know some of it from having played through it for years, but then we took a pretty long break. I mean, for context, I think you and I both really fell off around the time that Echo came out, right?
I think it was before that. I kept playing. I didn't know you kept playing. I feel like I kept playing for a really long time when the rest of the group kind of stopped playing. I kept doing the competitive seasons to get my points.
Okay. I played some Baptiste when he came out. He was the second to last hero to launch, right?
I think so. Yeah. And that was
And
still
then-
so long ago. I think that was a year ago that he came out now.
Was he was after Hammond, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I played a bunch of him. He was the last hero I played a bunch of, and then Echo came out, and I was aware of that going on, but I never really played with that character, which
Yeah, I didn't either.
it's been a while since that happened too, right? So they're working hard, I think, on Overwatch 2, which is why we're not seeing any new hero drops or anything like that. But in the meantime, the game is continuing to be played. It's continuing to progress, go through the same 5 events every single year.
Yeah.
But there were some pretty major changes, like roll queue had just come out when we stopped playing, right?
I guess so.
Roll queue was pretty new-ish, I think, and the fact that your competitive ranking is based on which role you're queuing for, and the fact that it's always 2v2v2 now. 2 damage characters, 2 healers, 2 tanks, rather than having any crazy. Like I know 3 tanks and 3 healers was a really really popular strategy for a very long time. So a lot of the stuff has shifted. What would you say the state of Overwatch is?
Yeah, so I stopped playing September 2019. That is
How
when
do you know that for sure?
Because I stopped playing when Roll Q came out. I remember I played 1 season of Roll Q. I got diamond rank as a tank, platinum as damage and healer, and then I was like, okay, this is cool. But like when they split it up into 3 groups, you had to do 15 placement matches now to get ranked in all 3 categories. That's when I was like, that's a lot of like, forced matches to keep playing. So that's kind of when I dropped off.
Yeah, I feel like if you're someone who enjoys playing, generally that's not a ton, but if you're just there to find out your rank and get out of there, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
what'd you say a second ago?
I was just trying to say, like that's our discussion topic. I think. What's the state of Overwatch? How do you feel like the balance is, the community, the variety of it? Obviously, we enjoyed playing it together, but with a friend group, you can enjoy pretty much any game together, right?
I think this game is especially good to enjoy with a friend group because you can do, with it being just a team-based game, as opposed to playing online with random people who may not care so much about being a team together or trying to win, which it's fine. It's just a game, just there to have fun, but it is more fun when you're winning.
Right.
I'd say.
There are games that you can have a fun time going down honorably, but in a shooter, like when you die, it's like
down honorably. That's hilarious.
It's like, hey, all the fun you were just having is now just gone, and you're watching a respawn screen, right? When you die, it's just like, oh, you're just dead. You're not doing anything. So losing and just like walking out of the spawn room and dying over and over again turns it into kind of a frustrating experience more than like a fun. Like if I were to lose in a racing game like Mario Kart, like I'm still playing Mario Kart. You know what I mean? Like I'm racing the same track as you. I'm getting the same items. I'm going the same shortcuts and all that stuff. But when you're playing a shooter and you're losing really bad, you're just dead, and it feels bad.
Yeah, that's true. It does feel really bad, and I guess there's not really a way around that. To like respawn times is a mechanic of shooters for balance reasons.
Yes.
That I don't know if. Yeah.
If you take out that punishment, then I think you lose some of the reward of winning.
Well,
I think
almost
that's the part and give and take of it.
Because another new feature that we hadn't actually got to experience since we dropped off playing is that while you're queuing up for the normal game of Overwatch, you can jump into the practice range as a group, or you can jump into a skirmish match or a free-for-all match. So while we've been playing this week, between matches, we've been doing free-for-all, and where respawn times is almost immediate because, you know, it's just something to do in the meantime.
Right.
And that has been very interesting.
It's been fun. Like, I have said for years that some of the most fun I have with like games I play a lot, like when I used to play Team Fortress, some of the most fun is when you get matched against people that you know, and it lets you be competitive with them and kind of have a fun little game while you're on voice chat against each other. But then Overwatch and Blizzard in general have this very, very strict policy of no official game mode will ever allow you to play against your friends.
Yeah.
Like, not even like it won't suggest it. Like, you literally can't find a way to matchmake against your friends in any official game mode, only in custom games. So I don't know if that's like a balance thing. Like, they don't want people grinding off of each other, like getting victory points. Like, maybe that's it. But it seems weird to
I
get
think it
around.
might be achievement related, or just one of the factors. I'm sure there's so many factors.
There are probably because you could still restrict achievements to quick play and competitive, but allow you to arcade against your opponent, your friends, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like,
in fact, I don't think you can even get achievements in arcade games.
Right, you can't even queue up in a free-for-all mode as a team, which is ridiculous. Like, they let you free-for-all while you're waiting for a match, but you can't queue up an arcade in free-for-all. So I don't know what the incentive is behind that, but
That
I
would
think
be
that's
very easy to give wins in that case. Like, if you do want your loot boxes, just have, or like if you got like 4 people and they all did team up against everyone else except the one person they want to win.
Sure.
Or in those modes, it really is the top 4 players. So you could have them like choosing not to shoot each other and only shooting people that they're not grouped up with for an easy win.
That's true, but also, who really cares? Like, it's in the arcade mode, right? Like, if that's what people are doing for fun. I don't know.
I think they would make it unfun if people would abuse it for that reason.
I could see it, I guess. But when we've been doing it in the practice one, it's been a blast of just hunting each other down and everything. So I feel like that feeling could be amplified, and it's kind of a tragedy that there's no official way to do that with any of the Blizzard games. But maybe one day, maybe in Overwatch 2 with the PvE stuff, they'll figure out a way. I guess PvE is always cooperative, right? You're usually not doing competitive PvE.
Yeah, probably.
But
yeah, I remember one of the times, I don't think I've ever mentioned it, but one of the times that I've had the absolute most fun in Overwatch is when we had 6 people. And so I queued us up 3 versus 3, and I guess we set up a custom game in order to do that. And it was just like first to 20 kills, and it was so much fun. Oh my word. It was me. Who even was it? It was you, me, my buddy Evan, my buddy Jacob, and there were 2 more people. I don't remember who the last 2 were.
Was it friends that they brought? I don't remember either.
No, I remember like knowing everybody there, which like I loved that. Maybe Marion was there. Marion also might have been one of the last 2. And then maybe Kyle.
Cody, or Kyle, one of the 2.
I don't know, but I had so much fun playing that because it really it's a whole new feeling when you're looking out for enemies and then you see someone. It's like, oh yeah, that's so and so.
Yeah,
run for the hills.
And you shoot them and you hear them scream, and it's great.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
Yes,
there's a lot of great games like that we could try to find. I mean, Overwatch is a great one though. So do we have anything else on Overwatch? Really, they've introduced the role queues, but because everyone wants to queue up as damage, they've introduced priority tickets where if you queue and you play several matches, flexing to any role without choosing a role, then it actually rewards you with some tickets that you can spend to be put into a priority queue for whichever role you're interested in. So that way you don't have to wait forever if you wanted to play a specific role. And I think that is a very elegant solution. I never used it before, I think even like 2 nights ago, but it worked super well. So I'm jazzed that they put that in there. I think that's a great addition. They should keep it. I think role queue and overall has been positive for the game because you don't run into class balance issues that often. And yeah, it's very fun. It's in a really good spot other than being kind of dry, not receiving a lot of new content. But
Yeah.
Overwatch 2, I assume, will fix a lot of that.
So weird to have a Blizzard game that is not being treated like as a game as a service. Like they're not doing anything new for it besides occasionally you'll get a new game mode every 3 to 6 months.
Cries and Heroes of the Storm.
Yes, man. One of my like bucket list goals is to play a Heroes of the Storm match with friends and against friends, like at the same time, like a custom match where I know everybody. But it is very difficult to find 8 other people who would want to play this. We're getting there. We are
getting there. If you patient player listeners want to join us, that'd be so fun to organize like a community. That's one of the reasons I've wanted to organize the patient players community Discord the way I have, is because that's the ideal goal I have for that community, is like through the podcast and through people who like playing games with me or with you, like we make a little community. And then if we wanted to do a big Heroes of the Storm night or Overwatch night, or if we wanted to host like some silly Serious Sam night, or like whatever the game that's hot at the moment is, Among Us worked for a little bit. We did some Among Us patient players, like official Among Us nights, and that was super fun. But that same idea, that same concept, but with some of these other games, like you said, would be really, really good.
Yep. One day I'm going to keep dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
Really, like I could probably find enough people, but not all of them would enjoy it. That's the hard part, is finding people who like that kind of game. Because I tried to get my buddy Sam into Heroes of the Storm, and he just hates it. He hates it so much, and it makes me so sad. He always puts it down when I'm like, oh yeah, I love Heroes of the Storm, it's great. He's like, oh, Heroes of the Stupid, more like, and I'm like, nuh-uh, it's a great game, and it's free.
So Sam has been listening to the podcast. I know we've talked about it, and in my opinion, Sam has grown a lot in the last couple of years as a person.
Oh, like maturity wise? Okay.
I didn't say that word, you did. But
it's the wife. That's what wives do to you, man.
We were playing Overwatch the last couple nights, and like he plays it very differently now, more strategically and not with a controller. And like he's more open to different types of gaming experiences. So maybe he should give Heroes of the Storm a second chance. I'd love to play with him. That'd be super fun.
So we got you, we got me, we got I'm sure my friend Judah would join us, friend of the podcast. Yep. Judah. We got Sam.
If we're lucky, friend of the podcast Kyle could join.
Friend of the podcast Kyle. You got your wife of the podcast.
Yes,
that's more than one team right there.
Yep.
Keaton would not like Heroes of the Storm, but we could ask him nicely.
Just tell him how pretty all the art is and the skins.
Oh, nice. Maybe bribe him. Maybe pay him. Okay, 3 more people.
You and I would have to be the team captains. You realize this, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I would be such a bad team captain.
You'd have to be the shot caller.
I'm down for that. I would be bad at the being like, oh, let's counter pick his so and so, and I do not metagame that kind of.
See, okay, here's the thing: is we don't even need all the players. We could have some bots.
Oh, can you do? I didn't think about that. Okay,
you could do custom games with some bot fill characters. This would be a very fun idea. We should definitely organize like a date for this at some point.
That could be frustrating though.
Have like a patient players official like Jordan and Daniel Heroes of the Storm competition.
Oh no.
I'm assuming I'm not allowed to bring in my old Heroes of the Storm teammate.
Heck no. What the heck, man? No, we could. I could see like 2v2 or maybe even 3v3 if we found enough 3v3 people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't think about bots being a thing. That could be fun.
That would be very fun. So besides Overwatch, that's the main thing we've been playing together. Alone, I've been continuing to play Horizon Zero Dawn. That is definitely a very good game. I'm definitely going to finish it, going to keep playing it. As far as new opinions or thoughts, I don't really have a ton. I do want to say what this game has been making me realize is that like I think I'm gonna play it a little differently than I play most open world games, and that I really am going to be okay kind of mainlining the story. And I think what I realized is that I really enjoy the like upgrades and bonuses and things like that I get out of doing side quests in these open world games. Like I like going into a situation being overly prepared or being more well prepared than the game expects me to, because I've done all this side stuff. But also at the same time, I like
You
taking
get bored.
challenges. I get bored because I like taking challenges, right? So I'm simultaneously the guy that will be like, oh, you expect me to have 10 fire arrows to fight this monster? Well, I'll show you I'm so good I can defeat it without the fire arrows. But then I'm also the same guy who did the extra side quest to get 20 fire arrows before the fight begins, right? So I simultaneously am over-prepared, but enjoy taking challenges on that I'm unprepared for. So I think I'm going to stop over-preparing because I realize that I spend a lot of time going around and getting all the upgrades and the armor upgrades for all these different open world games and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm just liking the way that this game plays, and I'm interested in the story and the setting and the world. And I have a lot of other games I want to play too. So I'd be okay if I kind of mainline this game. And I think I might switch over to start doing that with Horizon.
That's
and I feel
exciting.
good about it.
That's funny. Me, on the other hand, I love being overprepared. Like the easier the game is after being overprepared for me, the happier I am. When I played Watch Dogs 3, I had like the entire arsenal of upgrades unlocked before I beat the storyline, because I just went around, it's an Ubisoft game. That's what you do. And I was like, This is great. It's so easy, but who cares? I'm having a blast.
You check off all the boxes and you're good.
Exactly. I am definitely a box checker.
The other game that I played a little bit of was some Minecraft, which I'm still dedicated to, one, beating that game in vanilla, and two, setting up a community server at some point, which would be super fun with mods in 1.6. The solo play has not been going well. I kind of haven't played in a few days because I explained this to you the other day, but I don't know much about modern Minecraft, and I encountered some bad guys in the forest that shot at me, and I didn't like it, so I killed them. And then I went back home to my base right outside of the nearby village and found out that apparently if you kill certain enemies and then approach a village, you start a raid on that village.
Yeah.
Which I was unaware of. I just started the game, so I'm definitely not prepared for a raid. And now I have Vindicators just standing in my house, killing me as I respawn. Not a great feeling, but once I get past that, I'm sure I can recover and go back to how things were and continue playing Minecraft and enjoying myself. But right now, it just feels a little bad that all that happened and I didn't expect it. But that's kind of the ups and downs that comes with going into a game without knowing everything about it.
Yeah, hopefully. Is your goal to beat it on your own?
I've been thinking about that. Originally, yes, my goal was to beat it on my own.
Okay.
I'm realizing, as we've discussed before, Minecraft is more fun social, so I would have more fun playing it with other people. And I realized that my fear was that you would play it without me.
Okay, that's fair.
As typically happens.
Yeah. And that explains a lot. Because like, I was thinking the other day, I'm like, here we are. Daniel's talking about, he's finally playing Minecraft. And I'm like, this is like my top game of the past 9 years. And I'm like, and he hasn't invited me a single time. I was like, that is so sad. I was trying to think of like an example where I'd be like, if I was like playing Heroes of the Storm or something. I don't know if that's even equal, but that was what your top game was of your list, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, that was for the year.
Okay, for the year. What was your top game for like the big kahuna? I don't remember.
Of all time?
Was it TF2?
I also don't remember. I don't think so.
I don't think it was either. I think I was surprised that it wasn't.
I should know this.
Was it Dark Souls?
No, that was number 2, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well,
I
guess we should go back and listen to it.
If you want to find out, go listen to episode, was it 2023, I think?
It'll have top something in the name.
Big Top 10 episode, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, that's the one.
This is going to bug me now. Now I really want to know. Does anyone remember?
I was looking through my notes, like trying to find, because I didn't remember I had Overwatch on mine. You said I did, which makes sense. But I was like trying to find it, and I was like, I can't find what my top 10 games were. Oops.
Wow, that is very bizarre. I'll have to come back to that another time. Very weird. So those are the games I've been playing offline. Has just been Horizon and Minecraft. But I'll get back into Minecraft, I think, and then Horizon. I want to check out Star Wars Squadrons at some point still, but I've just been inundated with other good games to play.
Yes.
But
still glad you bought it on sale.
And the last thing that I want to mention, which I think is kind of your topic, is something that we want to play later today that I got this week that was free.
It was free. That's right. On Epic Games right now, you can get EA's Battlefront 2, the Celebration Edition, mind you, not even the base edition. This is the Celebration Edition of the game for free. Normally a $40 purchase. That's until next Thursday, I guess, as usual. But it is a solid game. It has done a complete 180 since its release, since it hitting the news and getting into politics with its
starting the garbage fire that was that like 2 weeks worth of media coverage of Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
It did some crazy stuff to the news and the politics because just ethics in games. The developers thought they could get away with some money grubbing strategies, and apparently they could not. So since then, they've done a complete 180 on all of the all their strategies, and the game is pretty solid now. It is pretty solid, pretty fun. You can't.
Am I gonna feel like I have to unlock stuff to be useful or powerful, or is it like once you get in there, everyone's on the same playing ground? Once you start a game, it's just like you get cosmetics and stuff. Or
no,
what is it?
There still are upgrades that aren't substantial. Like maxed out, its numbers like 15 to 20%, which like
that's a lot.
it can seem like a lot, but like when I've played it in the past, I also was like, oh, I'm gonna be like killed so much. Like I still did fine. I still made it in like the top percentage of the leaderboard without those things. So I don't think that's a big of a problem. But we'll find out, I guess. Because it's like your healing does an extra 20 healing, or your damage is like
that feels bad.
2 to 5.
Like, consider a game like Overwatch, like when they buff a ability by like 10% damage. Like consider how much of an effect that has.
Yeah.
Like what if you had someone playing the buffed version against the non-buffed version? That would feel so bad. Well, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Another aspect of it that I think that makes it work out pretty well is because it's not like a linear upgrade thing where it's like your only choice is upgrading this to 20%. It's you have these like 12 different options. And then if you choose this one and then upgrade that one to 12%, then you have 12% of that one particular upgrade. So
you can't get everything.
Exactly. Not everyone out there is using the max on every possible thing. Everyone has like a build of their own, which you can still choose. Theirs just might be like a little bit better than yours.
Okay, well, that's something we'll have to pick up later on today. Anything else that you want to talk about? Any other topics you have?
Not really. I played, I played some Mario Kart this week.
Okay.
That was fun. I played some Animal Crossing, some Picross. Shout out to Keaton out there with the Picross. No Hades. I still haven't touched it again yet.
At this point, we'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that. I think that's honestly it. I haven't played any more Sackboy Big Adventure, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Still hoping to get back to that. But yeah, mostly it's just been Overwatch. Like most of my nights this week, I think 4 nights this week, I was playing Overwatch with you or my buddy Sam, or one night with my buddy Judah, because I have 2 accounts, and so I was able to lend friend of the podcast Judah my second account, and so he's been playing on my second account. And he's been doing great because he just got a nice gaming computer, so he's having fun playing Overwatch. At least I hope he is. I think he is. And he's doing great, too. Like, it's so fun to see him, like, choose a person and then being able to explain, like, oh, yeah, he does such and such and this and this. And it really takes me back to those videos we have of us playing Overwatch for the very first time.
And you're like, why are you standing so close to the guy that you don't want to be anywhere near?
Yes. We're watching those now. We're like, wow, we had no idea what this game was. We were going in and doing horrible things, but at the same time, so were the enemies, because the game was like brand new.
Yeah. Yep. It's funny because it's not just like, oh, look at us, we're doing so terrible. It's like that guy had the chance to kill me like 4 times and just didn't click the button, right? Like, something that I think is fun is we did the Mystery Heroes mode, which is putting more people out of their comfort zone, because besides the people who are in our group that are new picking it up, we also have like my wife Marion has a couple really comfortable picks, especially in support, and maybe a few tanks. But outside of that, like some of these heroes, she's literally never played before. Despite having played the game for almost as much as we have, like she kind of sticks to her main characters all the time. And so, she'll get Doomfist and be like, how do I Doomfist? I don't understand how to do any of that. And I'll have to be like, here's the basic strategy you want in 3 sentences, go. And then she'll do it, she'll try it, she might have some success, and then respawn as another character because we're playing Mystery Heroes. I think that was a great fun way to just like goof around. I loved it.
Yeah, Mystery Heroes is a good game mode. You get to experience the game. I feel that way about playing Echo, is because you'll clone someone that like I like cloned a Junkrat last night, I think. Yeah. And I was like, I don't play Junkrat. Like suddenly I need to change my entire play style to match this person I just cloned for the next 10 seconds. I love that.
All right, so to our major topic for the week here, our double major topic.
Oh, double major. Okay, yeah.
Double major, the serious topic of the week.
Oh no.
Jordan, when are you going to buy Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh no. You're bringing up this topic?
What? It's on sale for $20.
Yeah.
You said you almost bought it.
I did.
I think you should buy it.
It's
fun.
In my wish list. I'm waiting for a sale.
It's on sale
I'm
right
waiting
now.
For a better sale on
You're
it.
not gonna get a better sale on the Nintendo Switch. It's $20.
$20 boys.
It's fun.
Oh.
I was playing it last night and the night before and today. I have built 3 new decks. One of them is terrible and I will never use. 2 of them are actually pretty good, and they're fun. They're very fun. I
loved how you're able to stream that to Discord. That was pretty cool. Because your capture card?
Yeah. I would. Okay, before you make your decision, I could show you some of the basics of the game first if you want. Not the crazy stuff I was showing Sam last night, because he already understood the game, so he understood all the crazy mechanics I was talking about.
Sam was into Yu-Gi-Oh! That's just weird to me. I don't know why.
I want Sam to get it too, really bad. I think that would be so fun.
I mean, yeah, he has a Switch. I almost expected him to buy it last night when I told him it was on sale.
Yep. I gotta follow up with him before the New Year's sale. By the way, New Year's Switch sale, a lot of cool games on sale. I got the email with all of my wish list games that are on sale, so you can pick up some good games.
It's just it's so weeby.
What is it? What do you mean by that?
Like it's a very Japanese RPG card game
Not really.
Is it not?
I mean, okay, I think I get what you're trying to say, but I don't agree with you. Okay. I don't agree with what you just said, but I think I agree with what you're trying to say, which is that like, it's very overcomplicated in some ways, like the visual style of some of the cards and the themes of it, right? Like the cards are all around like these giant ritual dragons and wizards, and you have the card names are like, Queen of Oblivion, Dark Queen of Oblivion, She-Ra, or whatever. Like it's very edgy in some ways and very silly in others, and it's very complicated and not as clean as like Hearthstone is. Hearthstone is very well visually presented, very well mechanically presented,
beautiful and very simple.
Yes, and that's a huge strength to it. So
for me especially.
I fully understand that. Basically, I'm asking the equivalent of like someone who normally plays Heroes of the Storm to play like League of Legends or Dota.
Yeah, that's a really good example. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I understand that it's more complex and it'll take longer to learn, but I still have so much fun with it that I want to share it with you. And I think that complexity allows for more things to happen in the game. The second thing is that because it's this free style of game where everything's available to you, right? So you're not spending $100 on these card packs. And if you want to try a new deck build, you can just go build it in like a matter of hours and boom, go try it out and experiment with it. So I think you should try it, or at least have me stream it to you for a while and see if you enjoy it. Not to say that you were going to get into it in any degree the amount I do, or to the amount you get into Hearthstone, but just to try it out to see if you like it.
Something a thought just occurred to me that I think is the real heart of the issue here, which I brought up briefly the other day. The
heart of the cards.
The heart of the cards, if you will. Here comes my trap card, which you're going to fall for, and actually probably not. I had a way of wording it, and then I forgot. Oh, if there was a cooperative mode in this game.
Yeah.
Instant buy.
Uh-huh.
Instant buy. I do not want to play against you in a game you are passionate about. If I wanted to do that, I would play Smash Bros. And you would get like a 5-game win streak and be like, aren't we having fun, guys? This is fun. I'm glad we're all having fun, you know? And then I'm just like, yeah, this is great. Yeah, I play games to lose. Yeah. And then of all things, you're saying like it's complicated. It's very complicated, and I'm already like super unenthusiastic about it. And that just takes away the motivation of me learning all the complicated things. So like I said, if there was a way we could like actually play together and not against each other, I would probably be like all over that. I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure I would have a blast.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to respond.
How do you like my trap card?
I would still ask you to at least try it.
That's
Not,
fair.
like,
Yeah. I mean, that's the most I can do, really. And
yeah.
like you said, it is only $20. Maybe I will pick it up. I don't think it's ever gotten cheaper than $20. I think that's probably the best deal it'll be.
Probably. And for the amount, like if it is something you find yourself enjoying, it's on the Switch. You can play all of the different challenges offline, which means that you can just like have all this content to play if you're traveling somewhere or something like that. So I think $20 is very, very reasonable for that game. I tried to play it online like twice just to test out a deck I had built, and I had a very hard time finding a match. So I think, especially I imagine that most people who are actively playing it are probably on Steam. I bet you the Switch is probably more for kids or for people who are playing it offline like I am. But
that's a bummer.
I just have a blast playing against all the AI decks. The AI decks are very good if you are in the challenge mode. The challenge mode has like the actual hard, like fully competitive AI, and I'm finding them difficult. I don't win every time against them.
Does it have a physical release? Do you know?
Like a game cart?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Gotta be honest.
What's it called again? What's the tagline?
Jeez. It has 2 subtitles. Hold on.
Okay. Well,
the full name of it
I'm just gonna type in Switch.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist is the first subtitle, and then this version on Switch specifically is Link Evolution. So it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution for Nintendo Switch. I just typed in Yu-Gi-Oh! For Switch, and it was the first thing that came up.
Okay. I was just gonna see how if I could find a physical copy any cheaper somewhere else, but it does not look like it. Looks like $20 really is the best way to go in this instance.
As a side note, I didn't even think to bring this up before the podcast, but I spent. Oh wait, yes, I did, because I have one more topic I completely blew over and forgot about.
Oh,
I bought 2 new games last night.
Oh yeah? Is there like a sale going on somewhere?
I was at a pawn shop.
Sorry, a what?
A pawn shop.
Is that where people play chess or something?
You've never been to a pawn shop?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. It's like I didn't actually know with you, right? I was like, I didn't know if you've never heard of a pawn shop before. There's a pawn shop right by my house. I've been to it a couple times, but in the last like 2 weeks, I've just gone in for fun a few times. I got like some headphones for my wife. I just bought an Amazon Echo Dot for like $15, which is pretty cool. Almost bought some power tools. A lot of cool stuff at a pawn shop. A lot of electronics and stuff like that. But they have all sorts of video games, and I found for $6 I got the Nathan Drake collection for PS4.
Whoa!
So I have all 3 Uncharted games on PS4 now.
That's awesome.
And for $10 I got Uncharted 4.
Oh, you did it!
Every single Uncharted game for $16 from my local pawn shop on PS4, because I figured as well that if I do make the plunge to upgrade to a PS5 at some point, well, I have all these great PS4 games I love, like Bloodborne and now Horizon, and all these games that I think would look and play really well on a PS5 with the more because it's not like a boost mode thing like the PS4 Plus, PS4 Pro. Can't even speak today. But there are a lot of PS4 games that are getting updates that make them run better on the 5, right?
Yeah, I think Fallen Order just this last week it's not a PS5 edition, but if you have the PS5, it now runs at 60 frames, yada, yada, yada.
Yes. So it's making the I'm actually it's weird that PS4 games are what's making me interested in the PS5 because
Right?
I am
Yeah.
I am at the point. I thought about bringing this up on the podcast because as I was, long story short, I didn't drive to the pawn shop. I took a scooter, so I was scooting home from the pawn shop. And
I love just that mental image of there goes Daniel just down the road, scooting to the pawn shop, doodly doo.
well, okay, so I got a scooter to go around my college campus when it was in college, and so I
remember
was
that.
kind of known as like the scooter kid because like everywhere I went, I was carrying my scooter with me, and that was
Yeah.
like the defining trait of me. So everyone recognized me everywhere I went. I had someone off campus talking to my wife, and she mentioned that I rode a scooter, and they were like, "Oh, he's the scooter kid," and I was like, "Oh, great, that's like."
That's
I've never met this
awesome.
person before. Literally never met this person before.
Wow.
So I still have the scooter, and I was using it to go to the pawn shop. As I was coming back home, I was thinking, like, man, I have like gone through the entire PS4 era, only buying the console and like Spider-Man and Bloodborne, and those were like the only games I played on PS4 that I can think of ever.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm sitting here and I have The Last of Us remastered. I have every single Kingdom Hearts game on there. I have
Oh, I forgot about that.
I've God of War. I have Spider-Man, Miles Morales. And with Christmas, I got Miles Morales and God of War, and then just now I got Uncharted. And the only game that I want to play on PS4 that I don't own is probably Ghost of Tsushima, which just came out this year or last year. So I'm gonna probably wait for that to drop down. But all of these games, I'm getting them like Horizon I got for $7, Nathan Drake collection, and this I just got for 16. It's like, man, this is really the patient playing at its finest.
Yes,
It's like
that's
the
awesome.
whole console generation's over now, and yet all of the like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 games that like just rose to the top of the generation, I can just come and pluck up for like $7 and just play through them at my leisure. You know, I'm playing
Mhm.
Horizon and loving it, and that game's, you know, ancient by today's standards.
Yeah, I think 4 years old.
It's the way to play, man.
I also, I think I have the Uncharted collection downloaded on my PS5 because it came with PS Plus.
Yes.
I've never played any of them, and
Okay.
I also have access to all 4 of them. So
I played 2 on when I owned it on PS3
Oh,
and
nice.
really liked it. But that's the
Okay.
only one I've ever played.
okay, it was good though.
Yeah, that was a game where I played through the whole game and I beat it and I liked it. I thought it was fun, like adventure shooting game. And I decided to jump in the multiplayer. And in my first round, I got first. Like I was surprisingly good at the multiplayer. And
Oh,
so I
wow.
ended up playing that for a few weeks. I really liked the multiplayer.
I forgot they put multiplayer in Uncharted. That's such a weird concept to me.
It's fun. It's very, very fun.
Nice. Is it like Indiana Jones at all? Is it basically
Very.
like the Indiana Jones of?
I mean, it's a whole lot of shooting, right? It is a shooting game. So it's
Mhm.
like, okay, you're gonna have this scripted event of climbing up this mountain and having this cutscene and dodging these bullets, and then it's like, okay, now you're gonna shoot these 40 dudes, and then you're gonna go to the next room and solve a puzzle, and then shoot these 30 dudes, and like, oh, here's a boss guy that you have to shoot in the right area. But
Mhm.
other than that, you're climbing and shooting, and that's the game.
Okay,
It's fun.
well, that's cool. Hey,
Yeah.
speaking of Indiana Jones,
Mm-hmm.
big Indiana Jones news this week.
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda is making an Indiana Jones game.
That's pretty crazy.
That is weird.
I'm trying to equivocate at some of their other games. I heard someone say like, is this going to be a Wolfenstein thing, right? Which is like,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, you know, fighting against Nazi Germany. I can see it be like that. I also think like Bethesda also does Dishonored, right?
Yes. Yeah, pretty sure.
So I'm trying to think. I mean, when I hear Bethesda, I first think of the Bethesda RPGs, but like I don't think we're getting a Fallout, but you're Indiana Jones with a whip, right?
No, they it's a specific studio like within Bethesda, I'm pretty sure, that is doing it. Machine
Okay.
Games.
Okay.
What are they known for? I don't actually know.
Well, let's check here. Machine Games. Looks like they're the Wolfenstein people.
Okay, there you go. You called it. So I assume it'll just be like a Wolfenstein Jones.
But like Wolfenstein is like, all right, I have like my 9 different cool machine guns and shotguns, and then I'm gonna like put on this cyber suit and punch some Nazis, and there's gonna be a a brain in a jar that's controlling 2 miniguns, right? Like that doesn't sound very Indiana Jones to
I don't
me.
know what you're talking about. That's. I thought you were talking about Indiana Jones just now. Yeah. Just instead of a brain in a jar, it's, I don't know, the Ark of the Covenant, controlling 2 miniguns. There you go.
If you melee someone, you just rip their heart out.
Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be weird, but I think it'll be cool. I hope it'll be good. I'm sure it will. But that's just pretty good at making games.
Wolfenstein is one of like my most surprisingly enjoyable series. Absolutely not for children. Like some crazy stuff in general, and on top of that, some crazy inappropriate stuff in those games. But very, very fun and interesting, and like jaw-dropping story moments that I would like call my wife and be like, I know you don't play this game, but I have to explain what just happened because I cannot believe it. Like,
oh my.
Have you ever played Wolfenstein?
No, I haven't. I know very little about Wolfenstein.
Okay, I have not played, but I've heard the newest one where you play as the two girls is like, it's like a side story, and I've heard it's not great. From people who really liked the original two. I've heard that it's not great. But I cannot wait for them to finish the trilogy. Like Wolfenstein 3 is one of my most anticipated games.
Oh, I didn't know that it was like an incomplete series.
Yeah, there's a major second game cliffhanger.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yes, it is crazy what goes on in those games. And the second one especially, like the first one is really good and it's more crazy and awesome than you would expect from a reboot of the Wolfenstein games. But then the second one was just like, hey, we did that and did a great job. Let's take it like to 11 and just go insane with it. And it was so crazy.
Weird.
If you're going to play them, I suggest you do so. If you're not, then I will spoil some things for you later after the podcast. That is just insanity.
I have always seen them and heard good things about them, so it's always been in the back of my mind. Just never something I've been like, oh yeah, I totally want to do that.
Well, if you are borrowing my Steam library, you do have access to them. So
sweet.
Always check those out.
Wonderful. Fantastic.
Yep. That's a lot more topics than I thought we'd have today. I think we're kind of running dry on those, unless you had anything else major.
No, just that. I was also going to bring up just that Ubisoft is making an open world Star Wars game.
Cool.
And I want to be excited about it, but I also don't want to be excited about it.
We'll see, man. Star Wars is hit and miss. Jedi Fallen Order, great. I'm glad I didn't get super hyped up for it. Battlefront had its ups and downs, but it's fun. Force Unleashed is good. Squadrons, I heard, is all right. Like
Force Unleashed, the old games, like every old Star Wars game, I feel like was just so good. Like, did they make an old Star Wars game that wasn't most excellent?
I'm sure there's a lot of old Star Wars games.
Okay,
there's so many of them.
That's fair. Yeah. I think I'm just worried about it being just like every other Ubisoft open world where you got the map, you got the foggy map. Oh, I got to go to this high point right here. And when I'll hold up my lightsaber.
You do your meditation.
Yeah,
and just boom, and then
congratulations. New area unlocked. Here's all the collectibles you can go get.
There's 14 Force Ghosts in this area for you to get the voice lines.
Oh, my word.
Voice recordings from.
Yes, the voice. Oh, my word. Yeah, and it's like, you want to buy...
They're called Force Echoes. That would be what they're called.
Yeah, you want to buy some extra costumes. Well, here's all the extra currency you can buy on top of our $99 Ultra Deluxe Edition, which comes with this fancy cape. I don't know. I'm worried about it. Either way, I probably will get it, honestly, and probably still enjoy it, just like I enjoyed Watch Dogs 3. It's just I want it to be the creme de la creme. Like, when was the last time they made an open world Star Wars game? Have they ever made an open world Star Wars game besides like Knights of the Old Republic or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you count Knights of the Old Republic? I have not played any of the Jedi Academy games. People really like those, right?
I growing up, I played Jedi Academy, and one of my favorite games growing up.
Or Jedi Knight games, including Jedi Academy.
Yes, yeah. So good. So good.
Cool. So that's it for our topics. That's going to take us to the question and answers section of the podcast. So let me see. Normally we actually vet some of these. But didn't get a chance to do that. So give me just a second to get these pulled up here.
You talking about the emails? Right. I can shoot us off with the first email.
All right, great. That's the patientplayerspodcast@gmail.com is the place to send the email if you want to ask us a question.
That's the one. You can send us whatever question you like, and we will answer it to the best of our abilities.
We'd love if you did so. Thank you, dear listeners.
Our first
All right, take us
email
away.
is the subject line is dislikes and pizza. Is that like our names? Like you're pizza and I'm dislikes? Or
Well, let's see what's in the body of the email.
Okay. And then in parentheses it says pineapple is an abomination, to which I disagree. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, no, I agree. Pineapple's great. Pineapple on pizza.
Just read the email.
Hello, patient players. Behold, 2 questions for this week. Number 1, what is a game you thought you'd like but ended up disliking? Great question. Ooh. And 2, what are your favorite pizza toppings? Thank you, Miranda.
Okay. Game you thought you'd like but ended up disliking. Weirdly enough, the first one that came to mind is one from when I was a little kid. And one of my favorite GameCube games of all time was Sonic Riders, the one where you're Sonic on like a air skateboard.
Yeah. I think you mentioned this before. It's like the sequel, right?
Yeah, it's a sequel. It's Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, and like I bought it and I think I returned it. Like it was so disappointingly bad and not fun.
That is so sad.
It was on the Wii. It was very, very sad. I'm torn up about it, but I bet you there's a more recent example that I've probably even talked about on the podcast, but I'll need to think about that one.
I can't think. I feel like every time a question like this comes up, I always say No Man's Sky, and I want to stop saying No Man's Sky as my go-to answer.
Why's that?
Because it's always No Man's Sky. I want to have a more unique answer. But
I mean, that's okay if that game disappointed you, you know?
Very much did. And the crazy thing is, I'm sad that I literally gave it away. I had it on PS4 and I gave it the copy away because it was so boring to a friend of mine. And now seeing how good it is these days, I'm like, why didn't I just keep it? I should have just kept it, dang it.
I have it on Steam. I think I've mentioned that on the podcast a few weeks ago when I tried it in VR, but I haven't really played too much of it. I don't think VR is like the way to go because that seems like the kind of game where you want to play when you want to just chill and relax and like space out for a while.
Yeah.
And in VR, it's hard because you're in VR that you have to deal with physical controls and move your body around and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Ooh, can I say, well, almost Borderlands 3. You know,
okay.
I liked it, but I disliked the story a lot. And I sent you an article this week of someone saying, like, if you think they really dropped the ball with the story, the DLC is very fun. So that was exciting to see that because I do own the DLC and I kind of am waiting to play it through with somebody sometime. So that's good to know.
Yeah, if you see like a good sale that I miss out there or something, like give me a shout out. I'll see if I'm in a position where I want to buy it and play it because that game was pretty fun.
It was good gameplay, very good gameplay.
Yes, there's so many games I have right now that are good gameplay right now, especially since I just have like every good PS4 game that came out.
Absolutely.
All available to me now.
Yeah. And then we spent like 3 nights of the week playing Overwatch this last week. But that's patient playing for you. Playing 4-year-old games that are still fun. And what are your favorite pizza toppings, Mr. Daniel
favorite
Podcast?
Pizza toppings. I like white sauce over red sauce on a pizza.
What the heck is white sauce?
The cream sauce. Like instead of a tomato-based sauce, like a cream-based sauce.
Like ragu?
Like an Alfredo. Like an Alfredo.
Oh.
So you do like a creamy garlic sauce. And then I'll usually do... So my favorite thing is there's a Pizza Hut nearby. And for years, the Pizza Hut would allow you to do a medium pizza with unlimited toppings. If you got 2 of them.
What?
For like $7. And...
What?
Yeah, so like my favorite thing to do with my friends when we'd have hangouts would be like, hey, you come over, you bring $7, I bring $7, we go get 2 medium pizzas, we just eat our own pizzas, and that's what we're doing, and we're hanging out and playing games and stuff. I did that a countless number of times. So the one I ended up settling on was white sauce, and because I had unlimited toppings, I would do meatballs and bacon and chicken.
Wow, that is a meaty boy.
And then I would do olives. And then on half of it, I would sometimes do jalapenos.
Oh, adding a little bit of spice to your life.
Yeah, I used to like jalapenos and everything. And then I realized it just makes everything taste like jalapenos. You can't taste any of the other flavors. So now I do it on half. And that way, like I can have my spicy piece and then enjoy like the full flavor and salt of the other pieces.
This is my pizza. This is my jalapeno.
I did find out that on the Pizza Hut like topping selector, Once you hit, I think 5, it's straight up like every single time you add one, it gives you a little pop-up that's like, our pizzas are best enjoyed with 5 or fewer toppings.
Really?
Like it's like, hey, maybe you don't want to do this. I'm like, no, I do.
Hey,
you said unlimited.
maybe,
you said unlimited toppings.
Maybe don't get diabetes, pal. We're not liable for this, by the way.
I think it's like they cook better. Like the bread in the middle, like if it's too covered and stuff, doesn't cook or something. I don't know.
Makes sense.
Or maybe they just don't want you to take advantage of the unlimited toppings and put like $9 worth of toppings on your pizza.
That is probably more like it.
How about you?
Me, on the other hand, I'm a very simple man. Same for most of my family. Our family go-to pizza is literally just cheese and olives, cheese and black olives. Like it's good stuff. But you know, just like people, pizza, it's not what's on top. It's not what you sprinkle on top of their head. What matters. What matters most about friends and pizza,
the cheese you stuff inside
alike, is what's on the inside that counts. And because of that reason, my go-to pizza place is Pizza Hut, because fun fact, Pizza Hut is the only pizza restaurant that has stuffed crust.
What?
Until this week.
Uh-huh.
Does that not blow your mind that until this week, Pizza Hut was the only like big brand pizza place that sells stuffed crust pizza? But
that can't possibly be true.
John's, it is true. I've done so much research. You have no idea.
I can't believe that. I literally can't believe that.
I can't either. I've literally gone on this rant to my friends like a month ago. I was like, why does nowhere else sell stuffed crust pizza? But this week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I pulled it up in the news. I'm seeing 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
What are you subscribed to?
Very recently, Papa John's is finally making their own stuffed crust pizza. And I am ecstatic. Ecstatic?
That's the word.
Ecstatic. I am both ecstatic and ecstatic. I'm so excited. I'm making up words because now I don't have to go to Pizza Hut for stuffed crust pizza. They don't deliver to our house.
Oh.
And they literally are like 5 minutes away. And they're like, sorry, your zip code is not included in our faces. And I'll still drive there to pick up my pizza.
You are right. You get very emotional about food. Like,
I know what I like.
Passionate I've heard you on the podcast in like 3 episodes, and you're talking about Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza.
I know what I like.
I can't get you this excited about anything.
What I like. You know, you want me to play Yu-Gi-Oh? Put some stuffed crust pizza in it.
I will send you stuffed crust pizza.
Ship me a box of stuffed crust pizza to my house, and I open it up. Instead of toppings, it's just Yu-Gi-Oh for Switch on it. And I'm like, he got me. I'm eating the pizza.
It's just the Switch cart.
Yeah, like just sprinkled a bunch of cartridges.
Switch carts don't taste good. They do that on purpose.
I was about to say a fun fact. They actually taste bad. Deliberately.
Yep. Have you ever made your own stuffed crust pizza?
I don't think so.
Okay, Marion does that. It's quite nice. It's real good.
Oh, nice. Sorry, I've never been on a diet before. I don't do diets or whatever the phrase was.
That was the phrase. That's a story for another day. Send us an email at patientplayerspodcast@gmail.com to ask us why Jordan's never been on a diet.
Okay, what's our last email for the day?
Our last email, this is a chronicle sent in, previous emailer again, but a chronicle of one Alicia Morha, who has been in quite a strange place recently. We're going to continue hearing about Alicia's journey. It says, Dear Diary, again, there was some reason the emails that we're getting are coming from the diary, but I've completely forgotten it at this point. So I'm going to continue with the email. It says, Dear Diary, it's me again, Alicia Morha. After escaping the forest of twisty trees, I was hoping to find a place that I recognized, or at least a person that could give me directions. But unfortunately, I just went from one strange location to another. The place that I ended up seemed to be some sort of cave. The walls dripped with a strange deep blue liquid that formed into a pool at the base of the cavern. Curious, I climbed down into the sludgy blue pool and stared at its bubbling center. I felt a warmth rise from it. I took a deep breath and got a big whiff of the liquid. It smelled sweet and almost delicious. Before I realized what was happening, I began to lap up the sludge from the pool as if I wasn't in control of my body. It was the most delicious thing I'd ever tasted. Sweet, salty, warm, and bubbly. I could stop myself from drinking it. Oh. I believe that's supposed to say couldn't. We're going to continue with the email now. I started to feel my consciousness wane, but before I passed out, a blurry figure appeared before me and said this. Think of your favorite game series or one of your favorite game series. That game series is now a first-person shooter. What do you think the game will be like now? That its genre is different, and if the game was a first-person shooter to begin with, it has now become an Animal Crossing-like life simulator. The surrogate messages from our friend Kay via these strange people going through their strange lives.
It stinks that he brought up that he used the phrase Animal Crossing life-like simulator, because that was the game that came to mind as a shooter, Animal Crossing shooter. And I almost feel like it would work pretty well in the same way that Plants vs. Zombies became a shooter, where it's just really cute. And instead of bullets, it'd be something like, I don't even know. What would Animal Crossing characters shoot?
Bells.
Just bell guns. Or like a gun made out of twigs and it shoots just like leaves or something. I don't know.
Yeah, letters. I don't know. Well, you'd probably get like the melee class that uses a bug net.
Oh,
and then you get like,
I like that.
The ranged classes uses slingshots, and then they use have like a.
You're good at this. Dang.
Like a letter launcher. I don't know. Like sends like little letters at people.
It'd be a class-based shooter, obviously, and you got. They bring back the Pelican from the post office. He's like a letter slinger.
Yep. I could see it as like, okay, what if it was a first-person shooter, but you had like you all played your own villager character.
Ooh.
And then you could switch items, right? So your slingshot's your ranged weapon, your axe is your melee. You have crowd control with like a butterfly net or whatever. But then you get a squad of villagers together that you get to like choose their equipment and their abilities, and you have to like your relationship with them determines their strength.
Oh my.
So like, I'm going into battle, I'm gonna pull these 3 of my villagers instead of like you have like 10 villagers you maintain Animal Crossing style, but then you like grab 3 of them and you go into like a 4v4, you against another person, but you have like your NPC villagers as well.
Does this mean like mid-combat you're chatting with them about how their day has been to increase their friendship rating with you? That's
between the rounds. It's like Pyre. It's like Pyre.
Okay.
You have like your villager that it's like a villager simulator that you're maintaining, and then you like go into the sport, right? You have the blood sport, and then you come back and like continue to have more conversations with your villagers.
Okay. Yeah, and they'll be like, I don't like so-and-so. If you kill them during this next battle, you'll get extra friendliness points with me. But then if you unlock that person later on, they'll remember that you killed them, and they will like you, dislike you more. I'm starting
the arena is like based on the furniture that you have.
Ooh.
And they could do like seasonal events with the different, like the map now looks different.
I like this.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I like that. And I also like an Overwatch life simulator. So those are my answers.
Who would be your favorite villager in an Overwatch village?
Torbjorn?
Oh, of course.
What if they were all like chibi style, and Torbjorn would just be this chunky little thing?
You could easily make an Overwatch crossing phone app.
They need more Overwatch games. Like just anything in the Overwatch universe. I will play it. I will be there. I will play it.
Where does Sigma rank on your list of villagers?
I don't. Top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking that high. Huh.
Yeah.
Cool. You're just walking along your village one day, and then just like Sombra appears out of nowhere behind you. That would be cool.
Just the chat bubble comes up, and it's like the character's like, huh, and then there she is. Hey, I need you to run some errands for me.
I need you to take care of something for me.
What game came to your mind for the question?
I've been too busy thinking about what you suggested to even consider it. Oh no, so I'm gonna steal this one because one, it kind of already exists as a first-person shooter. It's just not the right brand.
Okay.
And two, there's a webcomic about it. But I think StarCraft as a first-person shooter would be like it would be a whole lot like Natural Selection.
I can't take it. It's too much.
No. There's a game out there already called Natural Selection 2 that is one of my favorite, and I love it. And it's basically just that. It's aliens versus humans. You've got the spreading creep of the alien, but you have 2 commanders that are real life commanders commanding your troops. And so it's like my troops are out there. My first person troops are out there winning this RTS battle, but they're not units I'm controlling. They're playing a first person shooter. And then like I'm upgrading their weapons and I am dropping down like buildings for them. But it's just StarCraft, like Terran versus Zerg. Protoss would be so fun to play a first-person shooter where you're using like super Protoss laser beams and stuff like
Yes.
that. Oh my goodness! Like a StarCraft first-person shooter that plays like Natural Selection 2, where you have character commanders, would be amazing. That would be so good.
And it was going to be a
Also-
thing until they canceled it.
Well, it was going to be a first-person shooter, but it was like a story-based one. You were playing as Nova, and you were going through like
Oh.
missions and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it wasn't like a competitive shooter thing.
Interesting.
StarCraft Ghost, that's what you're talking about?
I don't remember if it had a name.
Yeah, that's the StarCraft shooter they canceled. It was called StarCraft Ghosts, and that's why it was called Ghosts, is because you were playing as Nova.
Okay.
Yep. Well, that is going to bring us to one more question. Dang it.
This is your fault.
This is my fault. This question written in last minute, thanks to the live Twitch chat from friend of the podcast, Judah, says, why has Jordan never been on a diet? This is one of those things that was hilarious in the moment, but when I explain it on the podcast, it's just going to be like a story.
Yeah, mediocre.
Okay, so if you don't know this, Jordan's pancreas doesn't work, and this has been the case for a while.
It does. It's only like 5% of the pancreas that manufactures insulin, so it does, just not all the way.
All right, so Jordan's pancreas is slightly defective, so he has to be careful about the food he consumes, and for reasons. And so we were pretty young, right? We were in like early high school, and Jordan was visiting. We had a friend over, and we were all talking about trying to figure out the number of carbs in a pizza slice
Because it was a homemade pizza.
Yeah, and we were like calculating. Oh, it was a frozen pizza, but like it gave you the carbs of like the whole pizza. So we were like measuring this pizza and like calculating carbs of per slice for this pizza. It was ridiculous. And we spent like 5 minutes doing this. Meanwhile, my friend is standing off in the distance, like awkward there. And we like asked him if he had any idea of like how to find the carbs on a pizza or something like that. He's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I've never been on a diet. And we all just kind of stopped and looked, and we're like, Jordan's diabetic. Like this is a medical thing. And
He thought I was just like super passionate about my diet. He's like, oh, I've never been on a diet.
I don't know how to help you here, you fatty.
That's it. That's the story.
We tease him a lot about it, and that's the end of the story. So we talk about Jordan never being on a diet all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's very funny.
Yep.
Very funny. Thank you for joining us on the Patient Players podcast, and we hope to see you in future weeks. And you can always join us on the weekend over at our live recording at patientplayerspodcast.com/listen. That will give you links out to the Discord channel where you can join us for those Overwatch sessions, for the Minecraft community, for Among Us, all sorts of stuff there. That link is also going to be where you go if you want to join the Twitch channel, follow us there, find out when we're doing our live recordings, join the chat. All of that stuff is available, patientplayers.com/listen. Thanks for coming, and we will see you guys next week. Enjoy your weeks.
Have a good one. Go get Battlefront 2 for free.
And Yu-Gi-Oh! For $20.